Now to campaign 2014. There were plenty of fireworks in Anaheim this evening as the top two Republican candidates for governor engaged in their one and only face-to-face debate before the primary.
State Assemblyman Tim Donnelly and former Treasury official Nir Kashkari clashed over a long list of issues and extended their bitter disagreement over charges made by Donnelly last week.
KCAL 9 political reporter Dave Bryan has the story live from Anaheim tonight. Dave.
Well, Sylvia, Lena, we're outside the Ayers Hotel where the debate took place this evening, right across the street from the Honda Center. But this isn't hockey night in Orange County. It's a political night, and the two candidates locked horns on a lot of issues, including for the first time confronting one another face-to-face on the charge that came up last week that one of them was compliant with Islamic law.
You should be ashamed of yourself, Tim.
In a testy and wide-ranging 90-minute debate on KFI's popular John and Ken afternoon talk show, former Treasury official Nir Kashkari, the lesser-known candidate trailing in the polls, went on the attack, targeting State Assemblyman Tim Donnelly, a favorite of the Tea Party and of the conservative working-class wing of the Republican Party. The audience was clearly fired up by Donnelly's responses. With a plastic skeleton dressed up in shirt and tie representing Governor Jerry Brown, whom the host said failed to respond to their invitation and didn't show up, watching over the proceedings, Kashkari and Donnelly tangled over Donnelly's allegation last week that Kashkari hosted a Treasury Department seminar in 2008 that pandered to Islamic Sharia law when advising banks on how to operate in the Middle East.
Given how barbaric Sharia is, why would we want to be compliant to anything Sharia?
It had absolutely nothing to do with bringing Islamic law to America. And I'll tell you the truth, folks, the idea that President George W. Bush, the man who worked so hard to make us safe, the idea that his administration would try to bring Islamic law to America is outrageous. It's offensive. It's targeted at policymakers who regulate American banks that want to do business abroad.
It has nothing to do with promoting free market principles.
But some of Kashkari's attacks were not well received by the highly partisan crowd of Donnelly supporters, like this when he implied that Donnelly's racist comments were chasing people out of the Republican Party.
In the last few months, you've managed to denigrate Latinos, African Americans, Jews, Muslims, Hindus. That's true. That's true. And if we are shrinking our party, we are not going to win another election, period.
And when Donnelly had a chance to ask his own question of Kashkari, he fired a dagger, raising questions about Kashkari's Republican credentials, forcing Kashkari to defend his vote in the 2008 presidential election when the national recession was killing the economy.
Why'd you vote for Barack Obama?
In the end, the candidates outlined vastly different visions for the party and the country.
My vision for California and for the state and for our party is to bring everyone together, to unite us on the principles of hard work, fiscal responsibility, the rule of law.
You know, the government has become the greatest threat to our future success. If we're going to take back this state, we got to work together. That means we got to stop demonizing each other and dividing each other by race and by party.
Now, here's what Kashkari said about his vote for Barack Obama in 2008. He was a Treasury official at the time, and he said as such, he met with both Obama and John McCain and was shocked by how little McCain seemed to know about the economic crisis facing the country, indicating he had little choice. Now we'll see if that explanation flies with Republican voters. In Anaheim, Dave Bryan, KCAL 9 News.